times, near a big forest, there was a kind woodcutter with two lovely kids named Hansel and Gretel. Sadly, their mom had passed away, leaving them with their dad. He wanted to make sure they were cared for, so he married again. But the new stepmom didn't treat them like her own. During the winter, the family struggled. With no money for food, the woodcutter worried about feeding his kids. His wife suggested leaving the children in the deep forest with some bread and abandoning them. Though he didn't want to, the woodcutter agreed to her plan to survive. Gretel was worried when the kids overheard the plan, but Hansel reassured her that he would protect them. In the moonlight, Hansel sneaked out to collect silver glow pebbles. He filled his pockets and went to bed, ready for tomorrow. Their stepmother woke them up the next day and gave them bread for their journey into the forest. Hansel carried pebbles in his pockets, and Gretel carried bread. Hansel dropped pebbles along the path, creating a trail back home. They reached the middle of the forest. Dad said, "Get some dry wood, we'll light a fire." Hansel and Gretel found sticks, and soon a cozy fire was burning. Dad told them, "Stay here and don't wander. I'll be chopping wood close by and will come back." Alone by the fire, Hansel and Gretel ate their bread. They heard Dad chopping wood and went to sleep after their long walk. When they woke up, it was pitch black. Gretel worried about finding their way home, but Hansel reassured her that they'd see the path when the moon rose. Following the shining pebbles, they returned home to their father, who welcomed them. However, their stepmother scolded them for being late. The next day, stepmom gave them bread and led with their dad. Smart Hansel dropped breadcrumbs as they walked. They went deep into the woods, walked all day, and made a big fire. The woodcutter and his wife went into the forest, leaving the children alone. They ate Gretel's bread for dinner, and they slept. Night came, but no one found the sad kids. Again, they woke up in the dark. Hansel said, "Don't worry, Gretel. When the moon comes, we'll follow my breadcrumb path home." When the full moon rose, they looked for the trail together, but it was gone. Hungry birds had eaten all the bread. They searched all night and day, but couldn't find the way out. After eating a few berries, they cuddled near an old tree's roots and slept under the moon, tired and hungry. On the third day, Hansel and Gretel kept looking for a way home in the deep forest. They got scared, thinking they might starve or freeze if they didn't find help. At noon, they spotted a pretty white bird and followed it. It led them to a clearing with a small house made of cake and bread for a roof. Hansel quickly ate from the roof, while Gretel nibbled on sugary bits from the windows. A loud voice from within the house shouted, "Nibble, nibble, little mouse, who's at my house?" The kids replied quickly, "The wind and weather, the child of heaven." The door opened, and a very old, very ugly woman came out. The hungry kids stopped eating and looked at her, scared. Even though she spoke kindly, she was a mean witch who wanted to trap them, cook them, and eat them. She invited them in with promises of dinner and warmth, but she was really mean and had bad plans. Inside, the witch made them comfy and gave them lots of yummy food like pancakes, fruit with cream, and a big chocolate cake. Hansel and Gretel ate so much that they felt really full. Then, the witch made a cozy bed for them. They were so full and tired that they fell asleep right away. In the night, the witch looked at them, grinned and chuckled, showing she had bad plans for the kids. In the morning, the witch put Hansel in a cage in the stable and locked it. Then she woke up Gretel and told her to bring water and cook for Hansel. She wanted Hansel to get fat so she could eat him. The witch fed Hansel a lot of food, but only gave Gretel crab shells to eat. Every morning she checked how fat Hansel was by feeling his arm, but Hansel tricked her by sticking out a bone for her to feel. The witch couldn't see well, so she thought he wasn't fat enough yet. The witch got impatient and said she'd cook Hansel the next day. She told Gretel to get water and cook for Hansel. Gretel wanted to save Hansel, so she stayed quiet. The next morning, Gretel cleaned and put a pot over the fire. The witch told Gretel to check the oven's heat before cooking Hansel. Gretel, knowing the plan, acted like she didn't know how to check the oven's temperature. The witch angrily tried to get into the oven, but Gretel gave her a shove, closed the door and bolted it. The witch howled, but Gretel fled, and the witch was gone forever. Gretel freed Hansel, and they discovered the witch's treasures. They decided to leave the witch's house, and after wandering for hours, found a shimmering lake. Gretel spotted a white duck and suggested asking it for help crossing the lake. "Oh, little white duck, please carry us over on your back." The duck approached and Hansel jumped on her back. The duck securely transported the children and their treasure bag across the lake. They continued and reached a familiar forest area. They reached the area and saw the woodcutter chopping wood as they approached their father's house. Hansel and Gretel rushed to their dad, and they hugged and cried happily. Their dad had been so worried after leaving them. Their stepmom, trying to find food, ate poisonous berries and passed away. But now they were all together again. Hansel and Gretel told their dad about their adventures and the treasure they found. The dad was amazed and said that seeing his kids happy was all he wanted. After that, they all lived happily together. Did you enjoy the story, everyone? What did you learn from it? Yep, Hansel and Gretel teaches us to be strong, clever, and take care of each other when things get tough. It also reminds us how special family is. I hope you had fun listening. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.